Hi guys, hope you're all well. Welcome back to It's Cooking Good. Today we're going to be cooking steak. Not just any steak, it's the king of steaks. It is the T-Bone Steak. Look at that. Thank you once again to F. Conisbee and Sons for providing me with the steak. What I love about the T-Bone is you get the best of both worlds, and who doesn't like the best of both worlds? You get the lovely sirloin and then you get the lovely fillet on the other side. And this is going to be absolutely delicious. It's beautifully aged, and I, for one, cannot wait to cook it up and eat it. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make up some sauces to go with our steak today. And I'm going to start by making a chimichurri sauce. It's an Argentinian sauce. Some people use it as a marinade. I don't think that's very traditional. I normally use it just as a steak sauce. And I particularly like it because it's got the chilies in it, you've got the garlic, and I like a bit of heat, as you know. So we're going to start. I've got a big old bunch here of fresh parsley, and I'm just going to chop it, not chop it, I'm going to put it into this little blender here. And then we're going to add a chili. I've just got a normal sort of chili, nothing too spicy, but again, as always, go as spicy as you like. Let's just get that in there. Like so. And then to that, we're just going to add some garlic. I've got 1 clove of garlic here, which I've just chopped up, and that's fine because the blender's going to do the rest of the work for me. So we'll stick that in there. Let's get rid of that. And then to that, you're almost doing like a vinaigrette measurement, as it were. This is just olive oil, and I'm going to go in. I can start gently. I can always add more. I'm going to probably go in with about 1.5 tablespoons, and then move that out of the way, and then to that I'm going to add some red wine vinegar, and I'm going to go sort of half a measure of the red wine vinegar, like so. And then to that we're just going to give it a little bit of pepper, cracked black pepper, and some salt. And that is it. We'll give this a go. Let's see, it might need some more liquid, but let's try this first. I like mine quite thick. Other people will like it thinner. Make it however you like. That's it, just blend it up. That looks good to me. I like it very chunky. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Let's just get rid of our blade there. Let's get one of our little pots and a spoon. I'm just going to actually give it a little try first. See if it needs anything. No, that's good. Right amount of heat. Garlic's coming through. It's not too vinegary. That is perfect. So let's just put this in here. The reason I'm doing 3 sauces, because in this house, none of us actually like the same sauce. So I often have to end up making 3 different ones. So there is our first one done. You saw how quick and easy that was. So there's our first one. Right, let's move that out of the way. Wipe my hands. And let's bring the hob up here. The next one I'm going to make is a blue cheese sauce. Who doesn't like blue cheese? Great, this sauce, because you can use it through pasta, use it over chicken. Great if you let it cool down. It's almost great as a salad dressing. It really is a really versatile dressing. Sorry, I've got some wildlife that's joined me here. Now I've got to show you something. While that's heating up, I'm going to be using onions in the next 2 sauces. Look at these. I'm no Percy thrower. I'm definitely no Monty Dom, but I did grow these myself. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be that small or not. That's what we ended up with, but they are lovely. Really sweet, but really pungent as well. So we're going to use some of those in our dish now. So I'm just going to go in with some butter. Good few knobs of butter. If you've got high cholesterol, you might want to switch off now. But I'm not here for your health, as I always say. And we'll just let that melt that butter down just a tad. Okay, so our butter is nicely melted. Let's add in some of our onion. I want to save some for the next one. I don't need too much because, remember, there's only one of us going to eat this actual sauce. And just let that shimmy around in there for a second. And then we're going to go in with some garlic, and I'm just going to grate it in. I would normally use one of those, what they call it, garlic presses. Ours broke. I must order another one. I've just lost a bit in there. So we'll just put some of that in. Just grab that bit out. Perfect. And then put that in there like so. Okay, and then just let that garlic just cook out, and the onion. Won't take long at all. This is such a simple, just turn that down a tad. This is such a simple sauce. It really is. There's hardly anything to it. You'll find people make it in all different sorts of ways. I've made it like this for years. It's just really easy. The kids like it. My wife likes it. And that's the most important thing. I'm not a blue cheese sauce person. I'll probably be on that chimichurri or the next one. Okay, perfect. That is looking good to me. So I'm now going to go in with a little bit of milk. Doesn't matter what milk. Like so. Just give it a stir around like that. And then some double cream. So I'm going to add probably about 100 millilitres, like so. Okay, and just bring that up to the simmer. Okay, that's gently simmering away. I'm now going to add our cheese. Now I'm using just a normal blue cheese. It's Santa Gur, which you can get in any supermarket these days. Use whatever blue cheese you've got in or whatever your preferred one is. And I'm just going to put that in there. And this is naturally going to thicken up this sauce as well. I'm going to save a little bit back because I might put some on at the end. Chef's treat. Perks of the job. And then to that, I'm not going to add salt. And then to that, I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper. Don't want to add salt because that cheese is salty anyway. Okay, and just stir it around. This is going to take probably about 2 minutes just to incorporate that cheese, and it will start to naturally thicken up. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so that has thickened up nicely. Let's just give it a little try. We can always adjust it, but I think this should be perfect. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's very good. Okay, that's fine. Let's just put this into our dish. This should be interesting. Should have chosen a bigger dish. There we go. Let's get it all in there. Sorry, my hob is making lots of noises at me. There we go. And there is our second sauce. Just wipe down. Okay, perfect. Let's just wipe these down. I've got some paper towel here. Let's just wipe our spoon down, ready for the next sauce. Perfect. And then just wipe our pan out. There we go. If you're not a cheese lover, you don't want that in your lovely peppercorn sauce. And that's what we're making next, a nice peppercorn sauce. Very similar at the start. We're going to put some butter in the pan, and I'm going to go straight in with the rest of our diced onion, like so. Then again with some garlic, just using another clove of garlic here. You notice I didn't use my new toy today, sort of given up a little bit. I might give it another go another time, but not tonight. Okay, and let's just get that in that pan as well. Okay, wipe my hands and just give that a good shake around. Just want to sort of soften those onions a little bit. You don't want to overcook them. That's it. Lovely. Okay, we'll leave that now for about a minute, and then we'll go with the next ingredients. Okay, so that's had a minute. I've now got a nip of brandy. Not too much. Again, remember, this is for one person tonight. But again, if you like brandy, I do, but you know, put as much as you like in, whatever your taste buds. And then I'm going to go in with just a touch of beef stock. Okay, and at the same time, I'm going to add our peppercorns. Now, the peppercorns I'm using are green peppercorns. I don't know if you can see that, but they are quite hard to find. They are best for this because they're soft, they're sort of unripened almost. You could use your standard sort of peppercorns that you find, you know, the black peppercorns you put in your pepper mill, but if you can get these, use these. Put them in. There we go. I'm just going to turn that down a touch. Oh, that already is smelling great. I'm going to go in with a bit more pepper. I'm not going to add salt because we put the stock in there and that tends to be naturally salty. But I am going to add a few dashes of Worcester sauce. Or as they say in America, is it Worcestershire sauce or Worcestershire sauce? I say Worcester sauce, and I'll stick with that. Okay, that's that. And then we're going to add some more of our double cream. Okay, just go in with your double cream. Again, probably about 100 millilitres there. And we're just going to give that a nice stir around. Oh, wow. That looks great. Let that cook out for about another minute, and then we're ready to go. Okay, that looks done to me. We're simmering away. Let's take this off here. Let's turn that off, and let's just put it into our pot here. Let's see if I can do it without spilling it this time. Make sure we get all those lovely peppercorns out. There's something about these peppercorns. They are so good. I can't explain it. They sort of explode in your mouth as you bite into them. Because they're soft, you sort of get this little explosion of flavour. I think that's pretty much that one full. So I'm just going to put a little bit of foil over it. Right, so we want to keep these warm. Whilst the weather's been great today, it has dipped down. Obviously, we're into the evening now, and it does get a little bit cooler. And what I'm going to do with both of these hot sauces, I'm just going to put them into the Weber barbecue over here. I've got a flame going over there, and it will just keep them nicely warm while we crack on with our steak. So I'm just going to clean this up. I'll see you shortly. Okay, so we've got a steak. What I want to do is just give it a little bit of olive oil. Not too much, just a little. And then we're going to do some salt and pepper. I'm going to do that on both sides. Get it nicely rubbed in. I don't want to spoil this by putting loads and loads of different stuff on it. This is a great piece of meat. And what I don't want to do is get rid of that lovely aged flavour. It would just be pointless. So we're just doing salt and pepper. There we go. Like so. Again, give that a nice rub in. Okay, that's all I'm going to do to that. Now, you'll see a lot of people, and I do, when I cook a steak in a pan, that you'll cook it, and then what you do is you put some butter in, you've got the rosemary, the thyme, and the garlic in there, and then you start spooning that over, and it is a fantastic way of finishing a piece of steak because it gives you that lovely nuttiness flavour that we all love. It's very hard to do that on grates on a barbecue. So what I do is what I call a butter bath. So I have in here a cast iron pan. I've got a massive old knob of butter. Again, remember, I'm not here for your health. I've got some rosemary, some thyme, and some garlic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that into the barbecue on the indirect side. So it's not over coals. I'm just going to let that heat through until that butter heats down and melts and incorporates all those flavours. We will then put our steak in and we're going to dip it halfway through and then put it back onto the flames. And I promise you, it is a technique that just is out of this world. Flavour-wise, you just cannot beat it. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so let's just check on our butter bath. That's melting nicely. What I don't want is for it to burn. So let's just give it a stir around, make sure all those flavours are nicely infused. Oh, smell of that rosemary. Love rosemary. Perfect. Okay, those coals are really nice and hot. This is burning well over 200 degrees at the moment, so I think it's a good time to put on our steak. So let's get this on, and we're going to lay that down. I like mine medium rare, so I'm only going to cook this for about 2.5 minutes aside. And what you want to do is just really push that down. You want as much contact with that grate as possible. Perfect. And we'll close the lid down and we'll give it 1.5 minutes. Okay, so that's had its 1.5 minutes. I'm now gonna dip it into, hopefully, let's get it off, our butter bath. Okay, like so. Get it in there, give it a nice douse in that butter, and then we're gonna give it a slight turn. Look at that, lovely already. Give it a slight turn. Push it down again, and we're going to give that another 1.5 minutes on that side. Okay, so we're at that 3-minute mark. Let's flip it over. Look at that. That looks amazing. Okay, so we're going to go with the other side now, 1.5 minutes. Push it down again. Perfect. Okay, that's at its 1.5 minutes. Let's give that its butter bath. Looking good. Nice, get it in there, get it nicely coated. I might have to do it. I think I put it at a different angle this time. Let's just move it over a little bit, like so. Make sure we get that sirloin in there as well. Okay, and we're going to give it a slight turn, okay? Push it down again. Beautiful, okay? And that last 1.5 minutes. And then we will be done and we can let it rest for about 5 to 8 minutes. And then we can cut it open and try it, which is the bit I can't wait for. Okay, that's it. I'm just going to upend it slightly. Just want to make sure that that fat has got some nice colour on it there as well. I particularly like the fat, not good for you, but I do like it. What can I say? That's it. And then I'm going to give it that last little dip in that butter, like so. And we'll get all those nice bits of rosemary on the top. I've got a fresh, warmed pan here, and I'm literally going to put it in there, on there like so, and I'm going to cover it with some foil and just let it rest now, as I said, for up to about 8 minutes, if you can. Okay, so it's had its resting time. Let's take our foil off. Let's get it on the board. Oh, this looks handsome. This really does. Let's put those resting juices on the top as well. I'll just take these off for a moment. That's it. Perfect. Okay, and we'll bring our sauces up. I've just taken these out. Take the foil off. We've got our blue cheese and then our peppercorn sauce. Let's just double check the temperature because I forgot to say actually, sorry, 52 degrees really is what I was aiming for, and this is pretty much bang on. It was a little bit under, but then with the resting it's gone up. Sorry, I've attracted the wasps. Okay, so let's see how we've done. So we'll start with the sirloin. I'm going to basically cut it down here. If you don't like rare steak, look away now. I love it rare. Not so a vet would have it's back on its feet in 5 minutes, but I do like it perfectly rare. So let's just give it a nice slice. And as we get in a bit further, this should be rarer and rarer the closer you get to that bone. Let's have a look. Look at that. Just blushing. Just blushing. Look. Lovely colour on it. And then I'll fill it. Oh wow, this is like butter. I don't even probably need to use a knife on this. I mean, literally, look, it's just pulling away beautifully. Just cut that bit there. And just so you can see that as well, let's bring it over here. Just cut it. Look at that, that knife just glides through it. Beautiful. Let's piece it back together. All about the presentation, eh? All about the presentation. Although I think I've just ruined that one. Let's put it in there. That wasp is really getting on my nerves. Let's put that back in there like so. Okay, so let's try it. Glides through it. I want to try it without the sauce first. Oh, wow. That is amazing. Dipping it in that butter bath, wow, it really gives it a whole new dimension. Oh, that is wonderful. Let's try this peppercorn sauce. Very, very good. Pleased with that. Blue cheese. That's my favourite so far, out of the two. That reminds me of sort of like an American steakhouse sauce. It is wonderful. Okay, so I'll make it fair actually. I'll do the chimichurri with the sirloin side as well. Let's give it a good dip in. Hold on. Yeah, let's get, oh, there's a bit of chili there. I've got to have that. Hold on. So vibrant and fresh, that. All three of those sauces bring something totally different to that steak. Depending on what your preference is, make all three or make them individually, whatever you like. My favourite still is the chimichurri. Chimichurri? Chimichurri. Second is the blue cheese, and third is the peppercorn for me. Again, everyone's taste is different. I've got to try a bit of the fillet, but I want to try it on its own. Oh, wow. That is amazing. So tender. That is just melt in your mouth. Wow. Hold on. Excellent. Guys, give this a try. T-bones are quite hard to find. You may have to go to a butcher, online butcher, or if you've got a good local butcher, they'll probably be able to do it. I haven't seen too many of them in the supermarkets. If you do see them, pick one up, because that is amazing. Guys, I really appreciate you watching through to the very, very end. If you're new here and you're not subscribed but you like the content, please do consider clicking on the watermark. If you've got a recipe you want me to cook, send it through. I'd love to cook it for you. I'll put all of the recipe details from today down in the description below. Give it a go. It rhymes. Anyway, all I've got left to say is it's cooking good.